At the beginning of the skydiving season, it's often a good idea to get a refresh on some of the safety aspects of how to sit fly. If you're new to this, you must get a brief from a free fly coach. You're going to need the right kit, so you must have a free fly friendly rig, at least one audible, although two is always better, a suitable jumpsuit so that none of your clothes are flapping around, potentially hindering your emergency handles, and a suitable helmet. I would suggest an open face helmet when you're starting out. Is going to give you a much greater sense of feel. As with all skydiving, information will keep you safe. Here at Skydive Algarve, we use a east-west run-in or a west-east run-in. The information will be put up on the board by the manifest. Sometimes the jump run is slightly offset to the north or to the south. Know where it is so that you know when you get under canopy whether you have drifted while you've been in freefall. The most common move when solo sit flying is a backward slide. Always face the ocean so that if you do backslide, you're heading towards the north rather than up or down the jump run. If you do find yourself drifting a long way while sit flying, you should seek a coach jump so we can assess what's actually happening with your body position. Facing the mountains is not recommended because if you did backslide, you'd be heading south, and that's over an urban area. Seek coaching on how to exit the aeroplane facing both forwards and backwards. This is going to help you massively when you end up flying in groups later on. On exit, the skydiver that is at the rear of the aeroplane must leave momentarily before the skydiver at the front of the plane. If they don't do this, you will end up colliding with each other. Exits with more than 3 people require a lot of experience to be successful. Be very careful about hand placements to protect your emergency handles when exiting in large groups. At break-off, transition from your sit onto your back and start tracking away from the other skydivers. Whilst you're tracking, you should be assessing the safety of the environment above you. Is there anyone else tracking above you? Maybe you should take an evasive different direction. Once you've tracked for around 5 seconds on your back, barrel roll onto a belly track to assess the environment underneath you. Are there any skydivers underneath you that you need to avoid? Due to the close proximity of such manoeuvres as taking docks, it should be practiced with a free fly coach until competent. As you can imagine, if you were to fall off a sit fly when you're in close proximity, the chances of you making contact with another sit flyer is very high. Don't be pressured into doing a jump with more people than you're comfortable with. It's very easy to be on the flight line and keep on adding people to your jump. We all know that the bigger the jump gets, the less likely it is to be successful. Plan your jump and stick to it. However, you do need to have a secondary backup plan in case things don't go according to the original plan. One of the most common problems when flying in a big group is people not being on the same level at breakoff. If this is only 50 foot or so, usually everyone can see where everyone else is and they can all find their own piece of sky to track into safely. However, if there's 2,000 or 3,000 foot difference, then this is going to pose a massive problem to the rest of the group. If you're in this scenario where the group is significantly lower than you and no one can actually tell where you're going to be tracking at breakoff, then the safest thing to do is to make the call early, finish your jump, and then start tracking, preferably to the north. The only way to keep the jump safe at this stage is for you to track twice as far as everyone else is going to be. This Safety Day seminar is not intended to replace any form of coaching, but hopefully it will get our brains engaged, ready for the upcoming season. So before you next get into the sky, brush up on some knowledge. There are plenty of resources out there for you to tap into, and hopefully we'll see you in Skydive Algarve very soon.